Right, we've got the evap fan hardwired into a live feed now. So well, I can hear it running. Let's go and have a look. One of the things you have to be careful of with these is sometimes they don't run the evap fan until the room or the evaporator is down to a certain temperature, so you always make sure the little light is on and it's calling for it. Sometimes they won't have that on until the evaporator is say -5, so you don't get any water drips blown about after a defrost. So you might think the fan's faulty but it's just not cold enough. But as you can see, we've got the light on there, and yet the controller's it's not putting any power out, so I expect the relay's failed inside. Well, it's a naughty freezer to look at. Just open the door and it's fired up. It's not maintaining temperature, but I've just had a look at the condenser. That could well have something to do with it. Fans running, compressors running. The other thing I've had on these a lot is gas leaks. HA, that's a fault code, I don't know what that stands for. Might have some instructions on here somewhere. They've got a hot gas solenoid valve, and when it goes on defrost it shuts the valve that goes to the condenser and opens the one that goes to the hot gas, and I've known them leak around the O-rings, so could be a gas leak. There's something cold in there. And the other thing is the evap fan isn't running. I'm looking at the frost on that hasn't run for a while. And the reason it ain't run is frozen up. So, whether that's frozen up and that's stopped it, or it stopped and then got the frost on it, because I would have thought if that was trying to run, it would be hot and you wouldn't have all the frost on the motor. That's the inside of the unit. That's when it's cooling, that's the hot gas valve, and they leak out of these joints. Plug in. That little LED is saying the fan should be on. That one's the defrost, and that one's the cooling. So the evap fan should have power to it, and we know it's not running. And the evap fan is the purple wire, which is that one. So it's connected to neutral. There's no power on there, so it's looking like the relay for the fans died in that controller at the moment. Right, we've got the fan off. We're having a bit of a look in here. It's coil's really clear really for something that's not been working, but it'd be worth getting all that ice out of there, because when we get it working again and it goes on defrost, that'll probably fall off and come down and jam the fan up, so we'll clean all that out. Turns alright. So at the moment it's looking like the controller has died. get all that cleaned out of there, put back together and have a bit more of an investigate. Right, that's a new controller fitted. It's a different model to the old one. Looks as though it's the same manufacturers. This one's got about, it's got 4 relays on it, and I think this one's got about 5 or 6. And the old one was 240 volt and this one was 12 volts, so I've had to put a little transformer in there as well. But with this one it's got some auxiliary inputs, so it'll control condensate pumps or heaters or anything really. You can set it up to do different things. A freezer, a chiller. It'll pretty much replace most controllers, so it's a handy thing to have on the van, although it's not cheap. It's over 100 quid for everywhere, so I spent one of these. If you had the right one, probably go out probably 50 or 60 quid for one of those, but it's cheaper than going and getting the right part. I've left the instructions in a little bag by the side, so if anyone comes to work on it, they can reprogram it. It's coming down. Cleared all the ice off the coil, given that a brush. So just make sure I ain't left any tools lying about, and I think that'll do.